Welcome back to SportsLine here on News Channel 5 Plus. Once again, the number 615-737-7767 is the number to call if you'd like to jump on in and talk about whatever you want to talk about in the world of sports. Of course, we're talking Titans at the moment, the two-tone blue, back from the bye week. They did have a practice on Monday, but after a day off yesterday, back in earnest today, Wednesday, as they get ready to start the stretch run of the season. 5 games left for the two-tone blue. They're 8-4. They currently hold the number 2 spot in the AFC, right behind the New England Patriots, who beat them in their last game a week and a half ago. They got the Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday at noon at Nissan Stadium. They'll look for a win to get back on track after 2 straight losses. Here is head coach Mike Vrabel addressing the media this morning before his team took the field for practice.
Coach, you talked about the physical part of, the bye week and getting better physically, but mentally, do you feel like, talking with some of the guys over the last few days, they're mentally back?
Yeah, I think that, we are. I don't think it was, it was just a focus of just recharging and making sure that we're really focusing on the details, not only of our job, but, everything that we have going on outside of, of football. There's a lot of things that, everybody does. Obviously, we dealt with Thanksgiving. You deal with family. You deal with, the holidays coming up. And really, our season now is just starting here with the NFL. Everybody looks and sees what the college's season is essentially done. And then, we're just getting started. And that's how this thing goes, is how you play in December and January and after Thanksgiving. So hopefully we're ready to go.
Mike, since you've gotten here, you guys have had a lot of success in the first game after the bye, 3-0 so far. Is there maybe anything to that, maybe just the reset or the preparation after kind of a week off that kind of has helped you guys? What do you think maybe you can point to why you guys have had success there?
We've probably played better. In those games, we've probably played better than the other team. So, we try to prepare the same way. We really do, Ben. I know it's your first year here with us, but that's a short answer to a long question.
You mentioned screens the other day. Obviously having more success with them. Is that something you have to practice a lot, considering the intricacies of all the people on the move?
There are, and the role changes, where you have to stay up outside the tight end box. I think that was something where people were, fearful that maybe you couldn't have success running those types of plays, with the mobile block, with the lineman or a tight end out in front and staying up. But I think that's something that we worked on. I think that's, everybody has an assignment, and the coverage changes, and sometimes the linemen have to go find different guys that are in different places. So, I think that we've just done a good job of one, coaching it, and then also, most especially, is just executing it.
As you begin to ramp up preparation and everything for this week, what's your message to the guys, as they begin to filter back into the building and you shift to an actual game week from the bye week?
And just focusing on the basics, the same thing that we focused on Monday. Making sure that all the little things and the fundamentals for your position and the details, a lot of those things, how we block and tackle, is critical.
You saw much growth. They're much different from Trevor Lawrence the first time you played him?
Well, I think that obviously extremely talented, mobile. There's been some they've gotten down in some games, which have forced them. I know that he's really, really good in play action and some of those half rolls and the throwbacks. Really for him to be able to move the launch point and him throw back, and he hit a couple of those on us and other people as well. So arm talent's there. He makes a lot of throws. And he's willing to stand in there and take some shots, too.
You talked about the season just getting started. What is it that separates teams in December, January? What type of football in your mind?
Well, it's sound. It's not sloppy. Taking care of the football. You're efficient throwing it. You can stop the run. Teams that tackle well. Teams that are sound and explosive on special teams, everything that we really look for. It's just, just try to eliminate bad football.
The bye week that you kind of noticed the team was playing not as quick or less speed than it had been after 12 straight weeks. Is that like an eye test thing, or are there actual numbers, that you use?
No, I mean, it's hard to, with the numbers, it's just it's just a max speed. So I really don't go much by that. It was an eye test for me is, how we looked at in certain games and how we looked in those games.
You also talked about practicing with speed. Do you have a sense of how much you'll be able to open things up this week?
Well, we should be able to practice. We should be able to practice with speed and, take it day by day.
When you see guys like Ben or Roger, Jackrabbit, guys that have been in the league a long time, that maybe you have to pace them some during the course of the year, how much does a bye benefit those older guys that are coming back in now?
Well, it's not going to help Rabbit at all. He's not going to probably practice today. He'll be out. But, I mean, I think that probably some of the bumps and bruises and you might have to ask them how they feel. I don't get any indication that they feel any worse than they did a week ago.
You mentioned sometimes some of these new guys like Hilliard came in, really learned things very quickly. Wonder how Tate is doing in that regard. Has he, been quick to learn things as far as you can tell?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, they just, each guy that probably goes through some new team experience and been with a new team, or especially anybody that comes in the middle of the season or towards the end, we've been really lucky and we've been able to get a lot out of some of those guys.
You see different coaches rely on, whether it be like Marv Levy, he used to quote General MacArthur for weekly messages and stuff like that. For you, where do you gather that? Is this something that just kind of pops in? Does it come from reading? Or where do you gather your messages?
Well, I mean, I think that there's a lot of places that you try to, draw on things that can help the team. And, I don't think it's necessarily one person. But, we just try to figure out where we're at as a team and what we feel like we need and what might be critical to focus on each week.
You had mentioned Ron Rivera, Bill Cowher, obviously Coach Belichick as well. How much did playing for Cowher and Belichick, and then your relationship with Rivera, how much does that influence your ability to relate to players? Because it seems like their guys really love them, and it seems like your guys love you.
I mean, I think it's all about just building relationships, and we've been through this about being able to hold players accountable, and I think there has to be a connection there. You have to make a connection with them, to hold them accountable. We all have a job to do, and we have to be on time. We have to be where we're supposed to be, doing what we're supposed to do to help the team win. And when you find a way to make a connection with them, then it I think makes it easier to hold them accountable, or at least how they interpret it, that you're not just singling them out. And, obviously you have to do things that are in the best interest of the team and make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
You guys scored 43% of your points in the second quarter. Do you have any feel for why the production's so out of whack there?
I don't.
Ryan needs to take any less chances given the state of the receiving core and his chemistry with guys, or
I don't. I mean, we need to take care of the ball. We need to, be productive when we throw it. We take care of the quarterback, run good routes. As far as chances, I don't know. We're going to have to throw it on Sunday, and we have to be very conscious that the decisions that we make with whoever has the football are making good ones. And sometimes when we turn it over, it's the person that's holding the ball, and then sometimes there's other people that help contribute to that. So hopefully we can all focus on doing our job to take care of the football or the person that has it. I think that was the critical. That's going to be a huge key, whether we're blocking for somebody, or whether we're finishing, or somebody's coming in from the backside, and it's it's a backside block that maybe 9 times out of 10 wouldn't have much impact on the play. all of a sudden has some impact on the play and the ball comes out. So trying to show those guys those examples. Only one person can carry it or throw it at a time. So hopefully the other 10 can do their part in taking care of the football as well.
Titans edge coach Mike Vrabel in his usual festive mood, meeting with the media as he does every Wednesday. Again, the Titans hosting the Jaguars Sunday at Nissan Stadium, 12 noon. You can watch it over on News Channel 5. And you heard him talk about the stretch run of the season. The season begins now. It's after Thanksgiving. It's into the month of December, and this is where teams have to be playing their best football. They're hoping to get some of these injured players back, like Julio Jones, who did practice today, although he's still on the designated to return from IR list, so he's not yet back on the active roster. So we will see how he progresses during the week. Of course, no A.J. Brown this week. He is currently on IR, short-term IR, and that's a 3-week designation for A.J. Brown, so he will not be in the lineup for sure when the Titans hit the field Sunday against the Jaguars. All right, time for another break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Ryan Tannehill, who certainly has been struggling of late. 5 interceptions thrown in his last 2 games, and he talks about the turnovers and what the Titans have to do not only to win Sunday, but to keep winning during the stretch run of the season. We hear from QB1 Ryan Tannehill next, right here on SportsLine.